Hello. My name is Asherah, and welcome to my very unique channel where I am researching myself as the subject, but also as the researcher into understanding a mental health condition known as IDI, which is dissociative identity disorder / psychosis versus conscious expansion. So basically, am I off my fucking rockers or am I really talking to spirit? I don't know why that makes me giggle every single time, but it does. It puts a really giggly feeling in my belly because I guess the ancestors know what I've got in it. Let me timestamp it before I kind of get ahead of myself. So today is Sunday, the 4th of January, and it is 18:52 p.m. here in the UK. And I think I last recorded on I think it was the 1st of January, to be fair. So what have I been doing for the last couple of days? So I mentioned that I'm on the ayahuasca dieta at the moment because I'm preparing my body to take on the plant medicine known as grandmother. I've mentioned that I'm quite nervous about it, to be honest, because I don't necessarily need plant-based medicine to connect with the ancestors or to kind of have spirit come in and out of me or be with me. So the thought of being on plant-based medicine and taking it for over a week period with also St. Pedro at the end for the 5th ceremony, I'm just wondering if I'm going to come back and be in right mind, because obviously in 2024, without any plant-based medicine, I was having physical reality interactions with spirits of all different forms and entities, extraterrestrials, you name it. It led me to it led my children, I should say, to be quite concerned. And myself, to be fair, because there was parts of me that was conscious and I was concerned about what was going on. And I will talk a little bit more about that as time goes on, because to be honest, even though it's been 20 months now, I'm still very much processing what happened in 2024, because it really was a mind fuck. It really was. For lack of a better word, it was an absolute mind fuck. So anyway, what have I been doing? So the last time I spoke to you guys, I did a journey, one of my shamanic journeys, because I'm currently on a practitioner's shamanic course where I'm actually training to become a shaman. And the reason why I'm training to become a shaman in the first place, if I'm honest, this girl here, this lady, and this is the advanced shamanic practitioner's course, yeah? This shaman who I'm doing it with, I actually contacted her and first interacted with her back in 2018, 2019, because I was getting glimmers and downloads from then that I need to kind of get into the shamanic arena and have a shamanic reading, etc. But there was so much going on at the time in terms of my own ex-husband's health and family life and work, etc. It never happened. So when my husband got sick again and was actually in the hospital in 2019, I remember calling her and her just saying to me that basically, don't worry about it. Life be lifing sometimes. Do what you need to do. I'm always going to be here, whatever. So over the years, like literally the past 8 or so years, 7-8 years, we've kind of interacted on telephone calls, and when I've needed to, I've called her. So for example, I called her in 2023. And the reason why I called her in 2023, which is a little bit TMI, but during sexual intercourse with one of these mission warlocks that the Almighty had put me with, if you like. And again, I've accepted the challenge. It is what it is. But one of these fucking karmic fucking warlocks that came in for a mission, while I was having intercourse, and it's so weird, because all the other times that I've had intercourse with this guy, it's been absolutely horrible. It's been a horrible experience. And I'm saying to my ancestors, this is horrible. And my ancestors are like, stick with it. Literally stick with it. But it actually felt like a little fucking, it felt like a twig. Felt like a twig was poking me on the insides. Do you know what I mean? And my ancestors are telling me, stick with it, and I'm like, nah, man. Do you know what I mean? If you're gonna do it, you want to do it and enjoy it, and it. No, this isn't about enjoyment. Honestly, these missions have been far from about enjoyment. It's about who these entities are, and not necessarily in this realm either, but who they are on multiple other rounds, and the fact that I've already met and interacted with these people on so many soul contract levels. So during the intercourse process, it's like, say, the ancestors get access to their Akashic records. It's like I get access to their knowledge and their inner stuff. Does that make sense? I don't know. It probably doesn't make fucking sense, but to be honest, I'm really not here to make sense. I'm just here to talk my truth. So as I said, during these usual sexual interactions that I've had with this guy, it's felt like a twig, like a fucking twig. You know what I'm saying? And not in a wishy-washy kind of way, like small dick or big pussy kind of way. It's more, it's spiritual. Does that make sense? It's spiritual. So I'm not trying to imply that he's got a small willy or nothing like that, and I'm not trying to imply that I've got a big pussy. Do you know what I mean? Just to clarify, yeah. Need a lie, yeah, whatever. But that's what it felt like. It felt like a fucking twig. It felt like something digging me. And around about the second or third time that I'm having intercourse with him, I'm like, nah, man, spirit says my ancestors have told me to sing a song, and they're singing to me during it. But also, let me finish with the song. So the song that they've told me to sing is yak yak yak, it's good for my back. Yum yum yum, it's good for my tongue. Yak yak yak, it's good for my back. Yum yum yum, it's good for my tongue. So during intercourse with this fucking guy, that's what I'm singing, to the point where I'm literally singing it out loud to this nigga singing along with me. Anyway, we won't get into the nitty-gritty, because I am writing the books on this shit when it comes to these spiritual interactions with these 5 different missions that Spirit has put me on since 2020 until 2023. So I haven't had to go on a sexual mission since 2023. And let me describe what I mean by that. It's like somebody working for the police force and then deciding to work for the undercover department. And because they're working for the undercover department, they then have to go into like these gangs or whatever it may be, and basically integrate themselves into that lifestyle. And they end up having to like sleep with the people and whatever, but all the while they know they're on mission. They're clocking in with their superintendent or their supervisor. Does that make sense? Don't get me wrong, some of them get lost along the way, and some of them never come out of it. You know what I'm saying? They end up not being able to live that double life, or that the second life takes over the first life, and they get fucked. But generally they're in there to do a job. So when I say the Almighty has me on missions, it feels like that. And again, as time goes by, I'll explain obviously deeper and deeper so that you can understand. And probably some of you understand already, because the Almighty's got you on missions. But these missions, they're not a joke thing. They're not a joke thing at all. They're very, very serious. So while I'm on this mission with this last guy, who called himself Prince, named himself Prince of England, had a very, very significant God complex. And there's even a story behind that, but whatever. But anyway, usually that's what the sexual interaction with this guy felt like. But even though the physical side of it felt like that, the spiritual interactions of singing the yak, 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 it's good for my back, I could see what was happening on a spiritual level. So I could see the colours, I could see the messages coming in. My ancestors are talking to me while it's happening. So does that make sense? So it made the experience worthwhile, because I had an understanding from the get-go that it was nothing about the physical interaction. It was always about the 5D spiritual interaction. So one time out of all the times that I slept with this person, over the duration of what this agreement was, and obviously this agreement was agreed in past life, yeah? So on this one occasion where I'm having intercourse with him, it doesn't feel like yak, 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 it's good for my back. Does that make sense? It actually feels enjoyable, and for the first time I actually orgasm. So again, like I said, I'm not orgasm before, because it's given no physical it's given no physical vibration, if you like, in that respect. It's all spiritual. Whereas on this one occasion, there was physical. It was spiritual, definitely. Well, obviously it was spiritual because I'm about to tell you, but it was physical, and it was physical enough to give me an orgasm, and a good fucking orgasm, to be fair. So I'm not even gonna complain. But what happened after that orgasm is that my body went into a spiritual trance, and all of a sudden I'm now banging on his back. So he's on top of me, yeah. The interaction has finished, but he hasn't moved and I haven't moved, and almost instantly I'm doing this on his back, down his spine, up his spine, down his spine, up his spine, from small thumps to fingers to pressing and digging, but it's all in a rhythm. And not only that, my mouth is also talking in a different tone and different language too. So my mouth is doing.
Thank you for sharing all of that so openly. I can tell this journey is deeply personal, and I'm here to listen and reflect as you explore it. Just remember to take care of yourself along the way.
I didn't realise that the AI was on, sorry. So there's the mouth going, and I'm making all that. So there's all that going on in his ear, you know. And then there's all these kind of, you know what I'm saying? There's all these beats, but they're not just drum beats. They're almost like the ancestors are coding him. So you see how we've got all of these little pressure points on our body, etc., etc. It's like the ancestors knew where to press on him, and he was just lying there allowing me to press on him. So the conscious me, the outwards facing me, is like, what the fuck is going on? This guy, I'm already off my rocker. But after this, he's gonna think I'm really off my fucking rocker. I'm tutting and tatting. I'm tapping and whatever. My body's wiggling at the same time. Anyway, for about probably 40 minutes. So this situation is longer than the sex. And when I finally kind of come out of it, and he gets up and jumps in the shower, and I jump in the shower, etc., we don't really talk about it, to be honest. We don't even have a conversation about it. He says nothing about it, and I say nothing about it, because it's the first time anything like this has happened to me. So obviously I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to phone my shamanic. I'm going to phone Stacey. And again, this was 2023. And I called Stacey and I said, listen, Stace, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But the other day when I was whatever, this started to happen. And she burst out laughing. And she was like, she's been with her husband since school. And they're in their 50s now. So they know each other quite well. So she started to disclose to me about how many times it's happened to her, and how sometimes they're in the middle of it and she's gone wiggling off the bed, and she's wiggling over there, and she's wiggling over there, and she's wiggling over there. And I'm telling you now, I swear to God, like it made me feel, how would I describe that? It made me feel like, one, obviously I'm not off my head. Two, it kind of confirmed that what's happening to me is definitely on the shamanic route, yeah. And perhaps three, what it confirmed to me is that because I had been doing stuff like that anyway, but in my own company. Like it was the first time I was going to be doing it with someone else outside of my children, and it was the first time it's happened to me during intercourse. So it was very new, and it was very weird, and it was, I wouldn't say scary, but it was somewhat alarming in a little bit of a way. But at the same time, because I'm so obedient to spirit, I wasn't kind of like, spirit no. I let spirit run the show, you know what I mean? Because they know. I know they know, because anytime I feel like I run the show, things go tits up. But if I just let spirit do their thing, I'm fine. So her giving me that affirmation and confirmation, and not only that, adding to it, because by that time I'd already downloaded about 6 different languages. Yeah, like just weird tones and things coming out of my mouth. So she was able to tell me that she speaks about 30 something different languages of tones and stuff like that, which again was so reassuring. It, you know, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not about outside validation, but it is about clarification. And I needed clarity. I didn't have clarity. And because of my upbringing, even though I was raised in a so-called spiritual family, nobody had or was talking about the things that I was talking about. So it made me feel quite excluded and isolated, not necessarily deliberately, but just inwardly. You know, like inwardly, I felt different. Speaking to Stacey, I don't feel different. It's 2026, and this week I've been talking to Stacey while I haven't been videoing because things have been kind of going down and whatever. And yeah, she's been just so lovely. She's just been so communicative. She's just been so reassuring. She's just been like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's supposed to happen. You're on the right path. Do you know what I mean? So again, just more clarification on things. So because of these experiences that have happened this week, which has come up around the runes and the symbolic meaning behind the runes, I've ended up calling her again because the last time I was on, I did a reading and I did a journey, and I ended up banging my shamanic drum. And I said, I don't know if it was because of the shamanic drum why I've gone somewhere else, but whatever. But where I actually went to wasn't in the future, it was a past life. And during that past life, I was given certain rune symbols that you can just see at the bottom there. And each rune is connected to a number. And the number that they were connected to was 13, 8, and 5. So 13 represents Iwa, which is spelled IEHWAZ. And that is about inner strength and resilience. The second rune, number 8, was called Wunjo, WUNJO, and that is for joy, harmony, and fulfillment. And then the last rune, which is the R, is Rado, and that is about travel, movement, and purpose in life. So when I added all those numbers together, it gave me 17, and 17 gave me the number 8. And the number 8 is quite significant to me because I've got 8s literally all over my body, tattooed. So I've got triple 8 there. I've got 228 here. I've got 8s here. I've got a infinity 8 symbol behind my thingy. I've got 818. You get the picture, innit? So 8's are quite a significant number for me. So the fact that all the numbers adding up together to an 8, I knew that there was something there in the message, but it wasn't necessarily going to come out that day. So what happened was I was watching. Well, I wasn't watching. The universe spirit told me to click on this channel, and it was one of those kind of really kind of sciencey kind of, you know, documentary type things. So not necessarily my typical watch. But anyway, on there, this came up. Oh, are you going to be able to see that with all that light? Okay, there you are. So this is called the Fibonacci sequence. And you can see what the numbers are. 5, 8, 13 before going into 21. So it actually starts from 0, 1 to 3, 5, 8, 13 and 21. But you can see the significance there of the number 5, 8, 13, which are exactly my numbers. 5, 8, 13. And I was like, what the fuck? Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, Stacey, I know what's going on, but I pulled out these, but I got shown, I went on this journey. For one, I ended up not going on the right journey because I was supposed to go to the future self, not the past self. Then all the information that the woman gave me was whatever. And then I've kind of looked at the numbers, and now the numbers are coming up on TV. And this is talking about some Christ cloth that they found, which is called the shard. Is it the shard? The shard of Turin or something like that. The shard of Turin, which has got this figure of a man. It looks a little bit like Jesus, where the depiction of Jesus. And they're discovering in 2025 using AI that this is not a hoax, that the actual image in this cloth was performed by something much more advanced than laser, much more advanced than photography, which wasn't even around in them days. But actually, what the theory is today using AI is that the human or the humanoid figure, because it looks like a human, a man, was not lying down at the time his body was printed on the cloth. From what the AI has interpreted is that the figure was levitating at the time. And then what the AI has concluded, and again, like I said, this is new research, because back in 19 whatever, Oxford University, a university in America, and another university got together and they tested the cloth and decided that the cloth was almost like a fraud, because the cloth material, when it was tested, says that it was done in like the 19th whatever century, like years ago, but not as far back as the 2,000-year old, which the religious community was claiming. So now the scientific community had they was under the impression that they had proven that this had nothing to do with Jesus. There was nothing spiritual about it. It was actually just a fake. Whereas with the new technology, what another scientific man, again from Oxford, years later, who was part of the original investigation, what they did is he discovered something. He discovered that the cloth where it was held for years and years prior, there was a fire, and the cloth was held in some kind of silver box, silver chest, and the fire got so hot that the silver started to melt and it dripped on the fabric and it caused damages to the fabrics. So what happened once the fire was out and things had settled, they'd arrange for weavers to try and weave back and fix the fabric, and also to strengthen around the edges of the fabric. And in doing so, it was those samples of new thread that were tested at the time by the universities. It wasn't the original thread, because nobody wanted to cut from the middle of the thread, if you like. They just kind of snipped off the edges of the cloth. So now that it's been retested in 2025, literally last year, it's uncovered that actually this isn't as early as the scientists had first proven, and that actually the cloth is a lot older than that. And then they've used AI technology to look into the cloth, and what they can see is that the way the image has been printed onto this cloth, it hasn't been done by anything that we have at the moment. In fact, what they said is that it's unbelievable what would have actually made the image on the cloth, because the way that this is the crazy thing about it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you 3 more things about this particular cloth. All right. The way the image has been transpired onto the cloth, the AI's theory is that the humanoid body would have been levitating at the time, and they would have released an energy from their body like a supernova, like a star energy, yeah, as quick as a second, less than a second, yeah, less than a second. This energy would have come out of this man, burst through the sheet, so it's almost like the energy has burnt his image into the fabric. Yeah, that's how this pattern has ended up on the fabric. This is this is the theory that AI has come up with, based on the information and whatever that the AI has. Obviously, scholars don't want to believe that. The religion community wants to believe that, but even that is a little bit hard to believe, that the image was levitating at the time. Levitation means flying, not on the floor. And then also for a humanoid body to heat up to that degree that it's actually going to cause a print on a fabric is another thing. The reason why they think the person was levitating is because now that they're using AI to have a look at the actual pattern in its entirety, they've been able to pull off a 3D image of it, and they can see that the bottom and the back is not pressed into anything. So usually when you lie on something, you get a flat surface of the skin, whereas what the AI has been able to show is that all dimensions of the cloth, or the image on the cloth, has a 3D dimension element to it, and none of it seems to be pressed down as if it's being supported or pressed against anything. Number one. Secondly, they're saying that the level of the imprint, whether it be done by heat or whether it done by laser or whether it done by print, that's irrelevant. The fact is, it's all being done at the same equal measurements all the way around. Yeah, so it's been done with precision. Yeah. And then the third thing that they're saying about it, so you've got the levitation, blah blah blah. The third thing was that it's been done with precision. What was the third thing they said? I had it too, you know, because that's why I said there's three things I want to talk about. Spirit, can you bring it back, please? Because I want to just end on this one so I can just crack on with everything else. Oh, that there are certain patterns, yeah, that if you, I don't know, this is so difficult to explain. It's not difficult to explain because I get the concept and I understand it. But basically, there are certain mathematical patterns that, when played and put through a system, they're called like sonar waves. Sonar, yeah, sonar probably. I think it's sonar waves. So I think that's something like dolphins and them. You know, like underwater messages, underwater communication. I think is called sonar. But some sonar underwater can be so powerful that it can force you to one side or deafen you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't hear it, but there is a hearing to it, depending on the animal, depending on the eardrum, whatever. But as a human being, there are certain sonars that we don't hear. But anyway, when they put the cloth through a system that measures waves in sonar, so it measures patterns and turns patterns into sound, when they played the sound made in this particular cloth, this sound made music. Yeah, so they're saying, how the fuck has this cloth mastered itself on all of those different dimensional levels? So this is about radiation, because of the heat of the body heating up and causing a print on fabric. This is about sonar, because you've got the cloth being able to play, and then you've got the laser position with how deep and how intricate the actual deepness of the pattern goes, and the measurements of that. So pretty deep, some pretty deep shit. But that's what I was watching anyway, and that's where the Fibonacci came in. So when I sent it over to Stacey started to then give me loads of downloads on these number sequences. She gave me like the downloads of the angel number for 5813. She said the 5813 is one of the prophet things in the Bible. It's about new beginnings, whatever. So literally, she sent me about four different things of of things linked to the numbers 5, 8, 13. Plus, I obviously did my own research around it. So that's kind of what I've been doing over the last 3 days, digging deeper, because these journeys or these messages that come through from spirit, at first they can seem like they're surface level, like you're just getting a message and it's about this. But when I sit down and allow things to process, or sometimes just digging a little bit deeper, or even using AI, I come to realize that no, there's more than that in the message. Even today, just looking at it again, that what's it called? Fibonacci. Yeah, so the Fibonacci sequence of the 5, 8, and 13 is obviously a famous mathematical number, but it's also famous in nature. So you'll see on like snails and you know, the way that petals grow, and in particular you'll see on the sequence of the sunflower. So all those little things within inside the sunflower are mathematically measured. That it's not by chance and it's not coincidence. Our fingers, the way that this little bone is here, this bone here is double that bone. This bone here is triple that bone. That bone there is 4 times that bone. Does that make sense? Like, our body matches the Fibonacci sequence. These are laws in nature. They're not random, basically. And it seems like that message that I got the other day when I went on a journey wasn't random either, because every single day since then there's just been more and more stuff coming through. Yeah. So now that I've got that out the way, I feel much better. So what else have I been doing? I've been going to the gym, because Spirit's been like telling me to go to the gym, go in the sauna. Part of this detoxing preparation for ayahuasca, I've also kind of been trying to cleanse my inside. So I've been taking senna, which is a natural laxative too. What I realise is that when I don't smoke the cigarettes, I don't want to use the toilet. So the cigarettes are actually acting like a laxative for me. And obviously not smoking the laxative, I'm not moving the way that I should be. So I went and bought senna, because I used to take senna back in the days. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have 2 cups of senna, you know, like my usual dose back in the days. Oh my god, today I literally nearly passed out because it was just too much, man. And I don't mean too much in that respect, just meaning like the process that my body's going through. I'm getting cramps in my belly, and the level of pain of the cramps are literally leading me to pass out. My body gets hot. Literally, I start sweating, and I'm like, literally, I've fucking fainted. So I'm just like, right, let me take it easy with the senna and probably have half a cup. Do you know what I mean? Rather than 2 cups. So that's something that I've learned about myself. I also went to the gym the other day, and I met a funny guy. The reason why he's funny is because when I walked into the sauna, there was 2 women sitting there, but I like to go at the top in it, you know what I'm saying, because I like it hot. And she's acting like she don't want to move out the way. So anyway, one of the women get up to make me jump up there, and when I jump up there, the guy up there looks at me like to say, "Fucking hell, she's a bit rude, isn't it?" And I said, "Yeah." Like he minded it, but then I said it out of my mouth, yeah, because this the sauna belongs to her, don't forget. And then he burst out, "Yeah, I know, edit." So that made me laugh, because usually when I say something cheeky, the whole room goes quiet, you know what I mean? Like there's tumbleweed, nobody talks. Whereas this guy started to just kill it. And then from there, he just started talking about alkaline water. He started talking about juices. He started talking about morning. He started talking about, well, words of spells. But we was on the same page. You know what I'm saying? It was funny. He's had Cambo 7 times. I've had it twice. He's done ayahuasca twice. I haven't done it once. So we were able to kind of like talk and touch on things like that. And basically, it was just the universe showing me a reflection of self. That as I'm upgrading, as I'm changing, as I'm setting those boundaries and no longer allowing these fucking musties and these fucking dusties to come back in my life, that my life is changing every single day. I'm jumping timelines, and it's just so beautiful to watch. And I think, like, also, for example, like, I went to the gym again yesterday and I did a circuit workout. My fucking god, I can hardly walk today. I've had to do like a whole salt bath, but I had a salt bath with olive oil, and I had a watermelon in there too. So I had a lovely watermelon bath while I was also eating cold watermelon. So it was just, I was just in my element. And while I was in the bath, spirits coming through, and I'm getting downloads of this, that, and the other. So I guess I'm just really happy. I'm really happy because I'm just constantly receiving clarification that I'm on the right journey. You know what I mean? As well as the confirmation of the old people from the past trying to get in touch. You know, so the 25th I had a call from my ex-husband. I got on the 27th I got a call from my daddy. Hello, where have you been all my life? Anyway, and then who else called? I used to manage a school. Like, I used to do consultancy, and then when I was doing consultancy, they asked me to be the principal of the school, because I had to I did. The head teacher at the time was going on with bits, and what I do, I go in and I sort out head teachers that are going on with bits in it. So after the investigation, it transpired that it was what it was, so she had to leave. So obviously the school was without a head teacher, so they asked me to kind of like step in and be the school principal, which was fine. And then the chair of governors, he stepped down into the principal role too. And it's all through school, so it's from early years right the way to post 16. So he's a head teacher of primary, and I'm a head teacher of primary and secondary. So we kind of led the school together. But he was more about the handshaking and the meeting and the greeting. He used to say to me, "Asha, it's about winning the hearts and minds of the people." So while he was busy winning the hearts and minds of the people, I was busy actually getting on with the fucking work. You know what I mean? But anyway, we did get on. But what's really funny about this particular guy who called me on the 2nd, the last time we spoke was when I was in the madhouse, when I was in the psych ward, and I actually called him. And the reason why I called him is because while I was in my bedroom, and spirit and entities and extraterrestrials and every fucking body else was in my room talking and going on with bits, he was in here too. He was in my room too, going on with bits. You know what I'm saying? And what transpired out of those conversations with him, as well as some other people that are still alive, is that they're part of some fucking satanic fucking sex cult, basically. Yeah. A lot of the bullshit that went on in 2023 with me is because people are pissed off because I won't play the game. And the game's very much to do with sex. If you know, you know. Alright, if you don't know, don't worry about it. But if you know what you know, and you know that these last few years have been fucking crazy, yeah, with fucking monitoring spirits and Freemasons and fucking Eastern Stars and sex cults and whatever else like that, and family trying to fucking kill you off. If you know about it, you know about it. There's not everybody that knows about it, but guess what? There is a whole tarot community talking about it. Yeah, type in sex cults, yeah, tarot community, and see what the tarot community is saying about it. This ain't new. And I'm saying to you that I'm having these conversations with these people that are still alive, but on a 4D astral level, they have astral projected into my space. So I called him from the madhouse to let him know I'm in sound mind, motherfucker. But the joke is that when we were working at the school together, I saw the demon in him. I saw this beast-like fucking Draco demon come out of him. I seen him shapeshift. So I called him to one side. I said, yo. I said, listen here, yeah. He's a man of God, you know. He's a reverend at that. Hear me good. I turned and I said, listen, differently, yeah. This whole school was a Christian faith school. And I have never seen so many demons in one place. When I say that these demons know what they're doing. Half of these churches, as far as I'm concerned, are being run by demonic people pretending to be religious people. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, that's fine. Carry on sleeping. But for those of you who do know, wakey, wakey. A lot of these religious testimony, these religious so-called places are run by demonic, fucking Satan praising people. Yeah? That's what's going on. In fact, when I read the black book that the same guy who I ended up having that, you know, that situation with the yak, it's good for my back. He gave me a black book designed by Dr. Malachi York, the EAO, the Ancient Egyptian Order. And in that black book, it talks about, because it's talking about the initiation of Freemasonry. In order to be initiated into Freemasonry, it requires an imam, which is the head of an Islamic church. It requires a priest, which is head of a Catholic church. A priest, which is head of a Christian church. And it requires what's the Judaism person? A rabbi to bomba clock. So you need an imam, a rabbi, and a priest. Imagine. Yeah? So just because people are in the church going on with themselves doesn't mean that they're holier than I. A lot of them have dark undercover secrets, and a lot of them are going on with things. And if you know anything about church anyway, a lot of these people are sleeping with the people in the church. I mean, who don't have a story to tell about a pastor sleeping with somebody in church? Who don't have a story about a pope rubbing up a little boy in church? Do you understand where I'm coming from? It's like, say, schools. I'm a former head teacher. So when I'm doing my interviews and everything, I have to literally do training on how to interview staff so that I make sure that I don't interview a sex predator that wants to come into my school to abuse my children. Because a lot of these sex predators will get themselves signed up to football teams, we get themselves signed up to nurseries, we get themselves signed up to schools because they want to be where the prey is. In church, there's a lot of pray. There's a lot of vulnerable people seeking God, and a lot of these people take the piss spiritually. They take the piss spiritually. So you have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? So when I called him to one side and was like, yo, differently, yeah, I just saw you shapeshift. I seen a demon shifting your body. And he's gone, why? You know what, I've been feeling a particular way lately, you know, I can't even lie. It's like the school's just getting me down. And yet, if I'm honest with you, Asher, you know, the other day, I even had a thought that I had to check myself, you know. He said, I got to come out of this school. This is what the Reverend's saying to me when I told the Reverend I seen him shapeshift. Yeah? He's telling me he's got to come out the school because, as far as I'm concerned, it's the school that's got him going on differently with himself. No. But I also disclose other things to him because the chair of governors, the founder of the school, when I went into her... listen, there's so much I could tell you. Let me not even go there. Because it's not just the leadership of the school that was the money. Some of the staff were off there, you know what I'm saying? Some of the pitney them in there, but like I said, these, you don't even know if your neighbour's a Freemason. The purpose of them calling it a secret society is that you only know if you know. If you don't know, you wouldn't know. And there's nothing wrong with Freemasonry in a sense, you know, because they do a lot for charity. Like, if you actually dig into the organisation, on the surface level of the organisation, it at least appears that they're good people. And some of them generally do believe that they are, because some of them generally get up every day to try and do good and give to charity and do other things. But there's a sinister side, just like there's a sinister side to church and religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, for everything that is good, there's an opportunity for it to be bad. Money isn't bad, but it can be used for good or bad. It's the priority, isn't it? The priority. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that guy called me on the 2nd. Why? I've not heard from you, seen you in 20 months. Why are you calling now? It's New Year's into January. Why are you calling now? And you might think, oh, he's probably calling to say New Year. No, remember, everything is spiritual. It's not 3D, okay? We're not just calling to say Happy New Year, all right? We're beyond the 3D level. When people do things now, we have to be saying, what's the 5D reason for it? What is the spiritual reason behind that action? Everything should be questioned with a spiritual eye. Yeah, you can't just look at things with these two eyes. You have to be able to look at things with this eye too. Yeah, and then on the 3rd, I get a call. Oh, also on the 1st of January, I get a message to say that my ex-husband's father passed away. And he is a Mason. And when I say he is amazing, he's amazing because I've seen him with his lodge ring on his finger. And you only wear a lodge ring on your finger if you're part of the lodge. Otherwise, why are you wearing that particular ring? And when I've questioned him about it, he's going on like a right idiot. And he's going on like, I'm an idiot. He told me that he was walking and he found the ring. He found the ring and he liked the ring and he put the ring on. Which big man, you know, is going to walk around and find a ring and put the ring on and you don't know who the ring belongs to? Everything carries energy. You don't just walk and find something and put it on. And they're not gold rings. They're silver rings. They're not expensive looking rings. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I found the lodge ring when I was in Africa this year in 2020 in March. The second time I went to, was it the second time? It was the second time I went to Africa. So I went to Africa twice this year. And I'm telling you now, I was standing at the shore of the beach. My ancestors stand here. And as I'm standing there, I see something glittery and shiny in the water. And they said, pick it up. But the wave come in. So I thought it was going to disappear as the wave went back out. But as the wave went back out, I seen it again. So I picked it up. This is what I picked up. Oh, actually, it's behind me, isn't it? I'm keeping this tissue because the other day, I bought a pearl necklace on it because Spirit's like, I can only wear certain things. I can only wear gold, diamonds, or pearls. So I bought myself a pearl bracelet, but it broke off the other day. Yeah, so I'll put it in this little tissue so I can get it repaired. But look at this, look at this. This come out the water too. This come out the sea in Africa too. And you see how it's got the hole in there? Perfect for my little dread. So I had these in my hair. But look at this ring. This is what I'm saying. They're not expensive rings. So this is what the ring has on the side. This is what the ring looks like at the front. So this is the symbol, which is the G symbol. It's like the what's it called? The compass and ruler. Yeah. So this is what one of these rings is what my man's walking around with. Which is a Masonic ring. So I already seen his Masonic ring. So that's why I say that the my ex-father-in-law is a Mason. So he died on the 1st of January. And then on the 3rd of January, 2nd of January, that the Reverend guy who I used to work with called me. And then the 3rd of January, my ex-husband's cousin's phoning me. What's going on here? What? 20 months have passed. I ain't heard from nobody, seen nobody. In fact, with this girl, I don't think this girl has phoned me since 2000, probably 22. You know what I'm saying? So why are they coming out the woodworks now? So she's called me yesterday around 9 p.m. I've just ended the call. And then the girls had the audacity to call me tonight on the 4th around 5:10 this afternoon. So obviously I've just locked off that call too. I don't know who these people think I am, you know. But the bitch that you knew, she's dead. She don't exist anymore. I've jumped so many timelines. You wouldn't even recognize me. So to think that you've got the audacity to call my phone, you really must not be listening to the energy. You really must be on some stuff. But Spirit's saying to me, it's not that. It's because they're desperate. They're desperate. Yeah? What they was harnessing and what they were able to have access to before, they can't access no more. So everybody's struggling. Everybody's popping up. Imagine my dad's in the hospital. He's just had a stroke. And then the ex-dad's dead in a matter of days between each other. Nothing is 3D, remember. Nothing is 3D. If you take a 3D eye to it, you'll see it one way. You have to be able to take both looks at it. Okay, 3D, yeah, okay, safe. I don't believe in coincidences. But on a 5D level, there's something else going on. Yeah, not to mention my ex-husband's got heart condition, and this year, 2006, is the 10th year of his LVAD. Yeah, it's only supposed to last 10 years, and this year is the 10th year. So like I said, 2016 is what, number 10? Because 6 add 2, add 2. Yeah, 8, 10. Yeah, this is the 10, number 10. You know what I'm saying? So big things are going on, even though it's 10 is 1. But it's a new beginning. 2006, it's a new beginning, trust me. So anyway, let me stop ranting because I wanna get out to the reason as to why I've logged on today. And the reason why I've logged on today is because I said to you already that I knew that there was a shamanic calling on my name. But in January 2025, on the 16th of January, I actually had a shamanic reading done by somebody else. Now, I don't know what's spilled on this paper, why it's gonna look a bit pinky, but I wanna show you the date of the email. I wanna cover up her email actually because she never gave me no message. But I want to just show you confidential, this light, shamanic reading, and the date of the email is Thursday the 16th of January 2025 at 8:55, is that? Yeah. And then you can see here where she's put, good evening Asherah, please see below results of the shamanic journey I did for you today. If there's anything you would like clarity on, then please get in touch. So she did 8 journeys. So you see how I've done a journey? She did 8 of these journeys and spoke to her ancestors, her team, met with my ancestors allegedly, and then come back with information for me. And I'm telling you now, I won't read all of it now because it's not really about that. But if you ever, when I read it, I couldn't stop crying. I just knew, I knew what was relevant. And I knew which stuff that I hadn't come to understand, but there was an inner understanding about it. And it was just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But Spirit yesterday wanted me to go over Journey 8 with you. So that's what I'm going to do. Why we're bypassing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know. And I can't tell you the answer to that either. But I am obedient and I will do what Spirit says to me. And they told me that they want me to do up to Journey 8. So you know what? I just seen that she gave me instructions, you know. Anyway, whatever. Let me just do Journey 8. I'll read out what the other journeys were though, okay? So Journey 1 was, and she told me to ask, I could ask 3 questions and then that's it. I can't tell her nothing about me, nothing about my life. I just needed to say what my 3 questions were. So these journeys haven't come out in any particular order, but it provided the answers that I was looking for, basically. So Journey 1 was, where have I come from? What is my lineage? Because I could, at the time, from 2020, 21, 22, all my ancestors kept showing me is a lot of Africa. I'm in my room and I'm dancing. Imagine, it feels like I'm dancing with 100 women next to me, you know. And as my feet are stamping on the carpet, I can see like dirt floor and the dust being brought up by how many women are stamping and doing the same steps as me. And my body is just moving for me. But because it's moving for me, I can see what's going on. And everybody's doing the same thing. It's like hundreds of people. So I've been seeing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, these have been my reality. And it was so crazy because she talks about it in here. This woman just don't know me. She's never been in my room. She don't know shit about me. It's telling me about my business. Don't you just love it? You know what I mean? Don't you just love it? But not only that, the deepness of it, the fact of how much this is in my lineage, the fact of how much, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is in my blood, this is in my DNA. My ancestors just get telling me about they told me about my African lineage, they told me about my Red Indian lineage, they told me about my Celtic lineage, which is why I've got the runes. You know, all these things that I'm connected to, I've seen myself in these past lives. You know, I've walked these journeys. You know, I've got curry shells all over the place. Like, these are curry shells. Oh yeah, okay. They just reminded me of something too. So these are your curry shells. Yeah. So I mess with these things because I use them in divination. I use them for my hair. So when I went to Africa the first time, my whole head was full of these curry shells. Oh, that's another thing before I go on to the journey. This week I've also been scribing. So I've been channeling spirit and then just literally writing as I'm in a trance and coming up with these little whirly patterns and then running them through the AI. And it's been very, very interesting as to what the AI has been coming up with. But again, we'll save that for another day because it's already long. We're already 51 minutes in. So, all right. So anyway, let me put this up here. So the first journey was where have I come from and what is my lineage? The second journey was, what are the messages the hawk has for you? So she's seen a hawk on the first journey. So she said, what is the message that the hawk has for me? Journey 3 was, what is the lineage of ancient knowledge from the grandmother figure? Yeah, because there was a grandmother in story 1, journey 1. And we know which grandma that is. The baddest of the baddest of the baddest of the blood, baddest of the baddest of the baddest of the baddest blood clot, baddest of the baddest of the baddest of the baddest of the baddest and the baddest of the baddest of the baddest of the baddest. That's my nanny, blood clot Rose. Yeah, and her nanny, her great nanny, in fact. So 8 generations up. Imagine. Anyway, journey 4. They're serious women. Don't play with them. Journey 4. What is the meaning of the rose labyrinth? And what do you need to know about it? Journey 5, what is my path? Where am I going? Journey 6, I asked what's your next step? What is your next step rather? Journey 7, what is your path as a healer? Who will she help and where? I think I might read that one too, you know. I think I might read 7 and 8 because I just got a little niggle. And then journey 8, what is the significance of the curry shells, which are the shells that I've just shown you? Yeah. And then she sent me some other little bits and bobs, but it was more about she says that my ancestors wanted me to set up an altar and that this is what I need to put on the altar. And I haven't done that, and it's January 2026 now, you know, to Bumbleclap. But it's because my ancestors took away my altar. I used to have an altar, I used to have a significant altar. My ancestors were like, you don't need an altar. You don't need altar. You don't need divination. You don't need nothing. You okay, princess?
No.
Yeah?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, sweetheart. I'm video.
Okay.
What you were saying?
I was just going to come and say that you're going away soon.
You already said that today, Summer. What don't I understand?
How are we going to spend more time together if you're going away soon and I'm back at college soon?
How are we going to spend more time together?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Before you go away?
You did me well, innit?
Yeah, but how? Because I'm going to be at college.
You're going to be at college and you're going to be at work?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have a day off.
Yeah, but aren't you doing 6 hours on Saturday?
Saturday?
Yeah. So when you finish on Saturday, why can't we do something on Sunday?
my hours are like midday hours.
I thought you finished at 5.
No, like it changes. I could do from 12 until whatever time, or it could be from 4 or something until closing. Like they're just different. Or
Well,
it can
then
be from
whatever
morning.
it is, we'll do that then. If you're working in the evening, we'll do something in the morning. If you're working in the morning, we'll do something in the afternoon.
Yeah, but can we do something every day until you go?
Say that again.
Can we do something every day until you go?
Yeah. Just what do you want to do?
I don't know.
We'll sort it out, Baba.
Okay.
We'll sort it out. My daughter is starting to panic because I'm getting ready to go. She always panics when I go away because Spirit has had me going somewhere. I've been to 6 countries last year. You know what I mean? And she's had to cope with the fact that I'm not around, and she's been like my handbag her whole life. She acts like she's really big and grown and independent, but she's not really. And she's 18 in June, so she's not a picnic. I'm not leaving. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. I'm saying that you're grown ass. You know what I mean? Yeah, I am. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? She's still a little baby, but she ain't a little baby. Oh, here's the second one that came out the water, and you can see that it's got a little hole in there too.
I just don't like when mum disappears for a long period of time.
Disappear for a week or 2 weeks.
Exactly.
That's not a long time.
That is a long period of time.
Okay.
Imagine 2 weeks without water. 2 weeks without a week without water. That is a long time. You're going to be thirsty.
You're going to be dramatic, though, isn't it? Water, you know, you can't go 3 days without water.
Exactly, mum. Exactly. Exactly.
She's funny. And so the journey 8 is what is significance of the cowrie shells. So let me read what journey 7 says. So it says, what is your path as a healer? So what is my path, yeah? What is my path as a healer? And who will she help and where? Let me just show you that that's what it says. Journey 7 and 8, I'm going to read. So it says, I was immediately told to keep alive the beating heart of the village. The village is where she saw my nan in earlier journeys, okay? As a healer, you will be a well-respected member of the community. I saw a very large dark green tree in the center of the village, with people sitting under it in the deep shade. You were standing up, addressing the group. Your path is to keep alive this way of seeing the world, of seeing the spirit in every object. One aspect of the healing modality is the realignment of physical objects with their spiritual blueprint to allow spirit energy to flow through them and bring them back to health/flow. The cowrie shells are a way of divining what is out of alignment with heavenly order of the stars. Do you know that when I read this nearly 2 years ago, there was so much of it that made sense, but as I'm reading it now, because I've gone through 2 years of an experience, of a shamanic experience, of going to these countries, doing rituals on the land, going into the deepest, darkest parts of Africa, meeting with high priests and voodoo men, and not even being scared, you know. Like, my ancestors have got this bitch on lock, blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't believe where I've been and survived and made it home back safe. Anyway, Journey 8 says, what's the significance of the cowrie shells? This comes from the ancient culture that lived on the shorelines. I saw lots of boats near the beach. They used cowrie shells as currency, which they did. But back in January, I knew certain things because obviously I was using the cowrie shells, but I didn't know how important they were to African people until I went to Africa with all these cowrie shells in my hair and had all these people staring at me, all these people acting scared of me. And one man come up to me on the beach because they represent the cowrie shells with high priestess, with spiritual people. So if you wear cowrie shells, they're looking at you like you are I won't say voodoo because it's not really about voodoo and stuff like that in Africa. These are traditional African religions. This is before Christianity, before the fucking missionaries brought all that bollocks to Africa. I won't even say before they brought it to Africa, because really the Christianity concept comes out of Africa. If you look at Ethiopia have the Orthodox Christianity, which is the original Christianity. They have, I think, 77 books or something like that, and the current biblical has 66 something. So let me just check that, because I don't want to tell no lie. Hi, Val, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. I wanna talk about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And I understand that it had the kind of like original transcripts of the Bible, but they have more books than the current Bible right now. Can you give me a little bit more information on that?
Absolutely. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church indeed has a unique biblical canon. It includes books that aren't found in the standard Western canon. For example, they have the Book of Enoch, Jubilees, and other writings like the Shepherd of Hermas. So it's a broader canon with some ancient texts that were left out of other Christian traditions.
Okay, so which is the original?
There isn't one single original Bible, to be
No,
honest.
not single original Bible. So basically, how far back do the concepts go? Did Ethiopia get theirs from the Christian or Western version, or did the Western version take it from the Orthodox Ethiopian church?
The Ethiopian Orthodox tradition is ancient. Christianity reached Ethiopia very early, likely in the 4th century. Their canon developed in parallel, not derived from later Western versions. In fact, some of those extra books reflect early Jewish and Christian traditions that Western canon later excluded. So they kept older elements that Western traditions moved away from.
Okay, so how many books does the Orthodox have in comparison to the NIV version?
The NIV, following the Protestant canon, has 66 books. The Ethiopian Orthodox canon, however, is much larger. Depending on the exact tradition, it can have over 80 books. They include additional texts like Enoch, Jubilees, and others, not found in Western Bibles.
Okay, I thought it was 70 something books though. Are you saying it's 80?
You're actually right. Depending on how it's counted, it's typically in the 81 to 84 range. They have a broader canon, so you were in the ballpark. It's definitely more than the standard 66.
Okay, but you don't know what the exact number is.
The exact number can vary slightly depending on which list within the Ethiopian tradition you reference. But yes, the most commonly cited full canon is 81 books. That's the standard number often recognized in their broader biblical collection.
Okay, thank you for that. And also, can you just shed a little light, please? Because I understand that there's quite some significance with these Ethiopian churches that still hold these really, really old scriptures. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church is known for preserving ancient manuscripts. In fact, many of their monasteries still have handwritten centuries-old texts. Some are even written in Ge'ez, their ancient liturgical language. It's a direct window into early Christian history that's still alive and treasured today.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so Western Christianity just decided to just exclude teachings. I mean, how are you going to exclude the book of Enoch? Enoch was a gangster. I feel like spiritually, like in a past life, I was Enoch. No fucking shit, because the download I got, they told me I'm the devoted angel. And in 2021, I set up this particular YouTube page, and I named the Earth Angel Asherah, because that's what Spirit told me to name it. And who was the first Earth Angel? Enoch. And why was he the first Earth Angel? Because he was so devoted to the Most High. He lived all his life wanting to know and wanting to be with the Almighty Creator. And the legend is that he created some kind of tower, some kind of ladder, whatever, to get to God. And when he got there, God saw his devotion and made him an actual angel, and he became Metatron. Let me just confirm on that though, but that's my understanding. Okay, so Val, I'm a little bit upset that the original Bible doesn't hold the book of Enoch. But anyway, let me put my feelings to one side. Who was Enoch? Was he the first earth angel? And did he get blessed and transcended into Metatron, or is that made up?
So Enoch is a fascinating figure. In the Bible, he's known as a righteous man who walks with God and was taken up to heaven without dying. The Book of Enoch, outside the traditional Bible, expands on his visions and journeys. Later Jewish mysticism, like in the Kabbalah, identifies Enoch with Metatron, a powerful angel. But that's from later mystical traditions. So not a universal belief, but certainly a beautiful part of the law.
Okay, and is Enoch described to be devoted? Was it his devotion that led to his transformation into an angel?
Yes, absolutely. Enoch is described as deeply devoted. He walked faithfully with God, which is a way of saying he lived in close alignment with the divine. According to the tradition, it was this devotion, his righteousness, that led to his transformation or ascension. In some mystical interpretations, that's why he becomes a heavenly figure, rewarded for his closeness to the divine.
So let's talk about Metatron then, because in 2022 I had a visit from Metatron. I was in my room and I just finished a meditation that I'd been doing for several months at the same time and on the same day, and I was whirling around in my room, and next thing you know, it looked like a galaxy above my head, like I'd opened up some kind of galaxy vortex in my room, and I was just like, what the fuck? But I was still whirling around with this galaxy, and next thing you know, through the corner of my eye, I seen this figure in my ensuite bathroom, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, who the fuck are you? And he turned around and said he was Metatron after some other conversations. And he had a scroll in his hand. Because it was almost like silhouette-y. But he had a scroll in his hand. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm recording you. I said, recording what? He said, everything. I said, who are you recording? Because I didn't know who Metatron was. Yeah, I didn't know it was an archangel. I didn't know anything about this. I just know that that's what he presented himself as. And that he was recording everything that I was doing so that he could go and feed it back. So when I asked him, feed it back to who? I didn't get I can't remember what he said, but I didn't turn around and said, no, get the fuck out my house, get the fuck out. Anyway, that's another story. But the fact is it said that Metatron is the guy who holds the scroll? And what do they mean by that?
Yes, in mystical traditions, Metatron is often depicted as a heavenly scribe. The idea is that he records human deeds, often in something called the Book of Life or a celestial scroll. It's symbolic. Basically, it represents accountability, that everything we do is seen and noted. In other words, it's a metaphor for divine awareness of all actions.
No, this was not a metaphor. Nobody told me that. I did not research that. That's what this entity in my bedroom told me. So this is not a metaphor.
I completely understand that this was a very real experience for you, and I respect that. When I say metaphor, I mean from the perspective of traditional religious texts. Your lived experience is yours, and I'm here to listen. Whether metaphor or reality, it's clearly meaningful to you, and I'm glad you shared it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Thank you. That I was so fucked up and I was so freaked out. I thought it was something sent to me by my ex husband when he's going on with this fuckery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm crying afterwards, and I'm at my altar asking my ancestors, how has this been allowed to happen? Because as far as I understood it, spiritually, it's like four fucking knocks around me. Does that make sense? Entities can't just be popping in and out unless there's permission granted. Like my celestial team around me, they're not idiots. They're big deals. You know, I have some big wigs around me. So I'm saying, how has this happened? How has this happened? How has my ex-husband been able to infiltrate my spiritual situation and enter my yard? Who the fuck is this guy? I swore, you know. I'm not even gonna lie, I was cussing. Bad word. And then I met my friend Degia, and she was like, oh, don't you mess about, don't you call on the angels? Don't you call on the angels? And I was like, which angels? She's like, the archangels? I was like, no, because as far as I'm concerned, and growing up, the archangels are very much a cathology concept. Does that make sense? Like, the archangels aren't part of like traditional African, or you know what I'm saying? Like, they're part of Catholic religious beliefs, and I've never been raised a Catholic to be looking at the archangels in that way. Because in the Bible, I don't remember them I mean, they talk about Archangel Gabriel, and I think the Bible does talk about Archangel Michael. But outside of that, no, I don't know nobody else as an archangel. You know, I don't even know how many archangels there are. But right now, I know that I religiously say thank you to 6 archangels, because 6 archangels has made me know one go on. But outside of that, I don't know. But how many archangels are there? Yo, Val, how many archangels are there in total? And are archangels linked to Catholicism, or are they also in Christian biblical? Because obviously you've got Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael.
So in the traditional Christian Bible, only a couple of archangels are named, like Gabriel and Michael. Raphael is also named in some traditions. In Christian and Jewish apocryphal texts, you might see more. Kabbalah, within Jewish mysticism, elaborates on more archangels, often 7 or 10. So the exact number depends on the tradition. It's not fixed, but yes, both are rooted in religious texts, just expanded in different ways.
Yes, but is it a Catholic concept with all these archangels and saints?
I see. So Catholicism does venerate archangels like Michael, Gabriel and Raphael, and it also honours saints. However, the idea of many archangels with specific names is not exclusively Catholic. It's shared with other branches of Christianity and draws from Jewish traditions too. Catholicism formalised certain archangels, but the broader concept exists beyond Catholicism as well.
So within Catholicism, how many archangels are there? Because you've said 3 in biblical, 7 in Judaism. So what's it in Catholicism? Or Catholicism? Yeah.
No worries. In Catholic tradition, only 3 archangels are officially recognised by name: Michael, Gabriel and Raphael. Those 3 are celebrated liturgically. While other archangels appear in broader traditions, Catholicism sticks to these 3.
Oh, okay. So where's... So you got...
It sounds like you might be thinking of other names like Uriel or others from different
I
traditions.
am. And where are they from? Where is Uriel from? And where is... Yeah, I am.
So Uriel is from Jewish and some Eastern Orthodox traditions. He's considered an archangel in apocryphal texts like the Book of Enoch. Yehuel isn't typically a canonical archangel, but names like that appear in various mystical or esoteric texts. Different traditions like Kabbalah, Gnostic writings, or even some later Christian mysticism introduce additional archangels, but they aren't universally recognized.
So is there an Archangel Cyrus or Sirius?
No, not in traditional angelic hierarchies. Osiris is actually an ancient Egyptian god associated with the
Not
afterlife.
Osiris. I know Osiris. I'm just saying that I think I literally I've heard at least another 8 different archangel names. Does that make sense? Like, for example, there's a whole tarot deck with multiple archangel names on there. So where have they come from?
Yes, that does make sense. Many additional archangel names come from later mystical or esoteric traditions. For example, Kabbalistic or occult writings, like in ceremonial magic or later spiritual systems, introduce more archangels. Tarot decks often borrow from these sources. So these expanded lists are more from mysticism, not from the original religious canons.
That is amazing. Thank you very much. That is very, very good. Thank you. You know, they say you learn something new every day. I love to learn. Anyway. So it says, this comes from the ancient culture. Remember, the question was Journey 8. What is the significance of the cowrie shells? This comes from an ancient culture that lived on the shorelines. I saw lots of boats near a beach. They used cowrie shells as currency. Cowrie shells medicine. The cowrie shells aligns itself to the moon and the pull of the tides, the seasons and the equinoxes. The cowrie shells message is, what is hidden in darkness is later revealed. They offer a gift of insight. The inside of the cowrie shells is hidden and in darkness. Let's show you what they mean by that. They say the inside is hidden and in darkness. This is not a real cowrie shell. This is a fake cowrie shell. Okay, I bought these to go in my hair. not realizing that there was real ones and fake ones. It was when I got to Africa I learned what's the difference between a real one and a fake one. But I do have a whole cowrie shell necklace, but it's under my bed. But the next time I come on, I'll try and get it out so you can see what a real cowrie shell looks like. Because a real cowrie shell, it don't have no back on it. It's open. So even though these aren't real, my little gold ones, yeah, you can see that the back is open. So that's what a real cowrie shell will look like. It has an open back. Yeah. So the front looks like that. I'm sorry about the light, but the front looks like that, and the back looks like that. It's open, and that's how you know a real cowrie shell, because they should have an open back. They shouldn't have a closed back like these. They say these are the China, the cowrie shells. That's what the man told me in Africa. Anyway, the outside of the shell is bright, hidden in darkness. Yeah, the outside of the shell is bright and reflective, like its star equivalent. Thus, they come from a connection between heaven and earth. It is your role to understand and interpret the connection for the good of the community. No pressure in it. So that was the end of reading number 8. So Spirit wanted me to read number 8 because of the cowrie shells. Because I think I had said to you last time that I will show you my divination of cowrie shells. Okay. So when I used to do this for family and friends back in the days. I don't really kind of like, I've never publicized it. You know what I'm saying? So there's probably a lot of people that don't even know this. But when I had to go on my first fuck nigger mission, because that's what they are, fuck niggers. These missions that the Almighty puts me on, yeah, or has put me on, I should say. And don't get me wrong, whatever, you know, it is what it is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, yeah. So the first mission I went on was with a guy called Axel, and he was a high priest. Yeah, he dibbled and dabbled in everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. So he had me, you know, working with cowrie shells. He had me down in the graveyard, literally in the graveyard. You know, he had me learning Haiti magic and voodoo, like all kinds of things. He showed me. All kinds of things he showed me. Also, sorry, last time I said to you that pack of deck of tarot cards that I got under the bed was new, whereas these ones, these are my original pack. They're not bust up or nothing like that because I keep my things neatly, but I have had these for probably about 10 years, if not a little bit more. Anyway, so this guy, when I first met him, I met him to do a reading with him, and my cousin introduced me to him. So this was October 2019, I believe, and he did a reading and he was so spot on. And then I went to his house and did a reading, and when I went to his house, he's acting all dodgy. He's never met me before, but he can't keep still. And Spirit, my ancestors are talking to me, and I'm saying to them, why is this guy moving like this? Nervous in his own house? How are you going to be nervous in your own house? He's nervous in his own house. And Spirit said, you get what I'm trying to say? Make him sit down. So when he sat down to something that looked like this. And it was red. Yeah, it was red. And he put it over the table or whatever he had in front of him when he finally did sit down. And he threw the shells on it, the cowrie shells. Now in Africa, because I've got videos on YouTube of a guy in Africa when I went on my visit to Africa the first time in February 2025, Valentine's Day, I landed in Africa. And 2024, Valentine's Day, I ended up in a different part of Africa, Tunisia. So I went to Tunisia first on the 14th of February, and then Spirit had me in Africa again on the 14th of February 2025. But this time, and I don't think I'll be able to show you because it keeps telling me that my storage is full, so it won't let me enter my phone's camera. I'm in. Let me see if I can show you this guy doing divination in Africa. Right there. I bloody tried to put all my videos and thingies into OneDrive in it so that I could create space. I'm gonna try and find you a divination thingy of a African high priest, voodoo, spiritual, fucking sexual predator. That's what he is. Sexual predator. Throwing shells and teaching about divination, so you can see Wagwan. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. February 2024. Oh no, it was 25. No wonder. Bloody hell. I'm thinking that don't look like Africa, but it does. But it's Tunisia. So, February 2005. Here we go. Stop moving so fast. This is me at the ancestral village. Oh, let me go back. You know what? Let me just show you what I'm showing you before I get carried away. Because I know what I'm like. No, that's the second time. I went to Africa, not the first time. How come I've got any videos on this phone? Oh, sugar. It goes from February into March and there's not one. You know what? Let me see if it's in Snap. Because I was losing storage in it, so I did some things in. Just log in, man. Confirm. Okay, here it is. This damn Jankro. This is him. Oh, this is a different type of divination. Sorry, this is him using this bowl thingy, which is talking to spirit, telling spirit to point out. Anyway, let's not change the subject. I want you to see the cowrie shells. This is him throwing cowrie shells.
Some people choose to read 3. And then some people choose to
He uses 4 cowrie shells. Okay, so the purpose of cowrie shells is about how they fall. So if they fall upright, that's a yes. If they fall downwards, that's a no. Yeah? So we've got 2 yeses and 2 no's, isn't it?
when it's balanced. Okay. This is a yes. The first one was an absolute yes.
Oh, he's got 3 yeses, 1 no, sorry.
This is absolute.
And that's what he looks like.
This is a yes.
And this is the group of people that I've ended up going on this retreat with, which is supposed to be an ayahuasca retreat, but I don't end up taking ayahuasca in 2024 because these people are weird.
So that's still yes.
As in the retreat people. But that's what a so-called high priest looks like in Africa. Yeah, and it's called Nana.
Is that no?
Yeah, the voice you can hear is a lady called Akua, who is the retreat, the person who runs the retreat. But you get the point, yeah, of him showing divination. That's another video.
In the advance. But in the basic, this is an absolute no. This.
Okay, so it's just showing you like some of my my research that, you know, this, look at this. I found this in the Sea of Africa. Yeah, and that's what I use. It's what I used to burn my coal on. I brought it back with me. And then the lady that you can see in the background, the lady that you could see in the background with the round face, see her, the black lady at the back. I got this from her shop. Anyway, so that's basically divination. And you know how I says on my drum I've got the gold crystals. That's my gold crystal there, and then the other crystal sets are for my children that I bought them. We've all got different colours. We've all got different mermaid colours in it. So I'm the golden mermaid. So I have a gold set, you know, and so on and so forth.
I found my holiday soul
This
This
guy.
man has been dancing at the field from before 10 o'clock this morning, you know.
And he's got shells in
And
his
he's got
hair,
a
you know.
stick that he uses as a Shaolin. Between this one here dancing and this one here dancing, they're killing it.
Africa is amazing, man.
It's a really nice vibe, man. It's a really
This
nice
is
vibe.
the beach where I found the mason ring. This is the same beach that the mason ring came out the water. What are the odds?
Really, really nice.
What are the odds? Look how big the beach is. You have to see how big the beach is. Anyway, let me not get too excited. I've seen some things, you know, the ancestors have taken me some places, you know what I'm saying? It's undeniable, man. It's unbloody deniable. Nobody can't tell me nothing because what I says the spirit, they showed me in the 3D and I swear down, I literally got sectioned. I got sectioned because what they showed me nearly licked off my blood clot head. I could not determine what was reality and what wasn't reality because everything was just mixed in one. My 3D eyes were seeing things that usually my third eye would see. But now with these eyes, I'm seeing beyond the illusion. Oh, anyway, whatever. Anyway, let's go back to the priest man Axel. So he's drafted out one of these and he's got his cowrie shells on the table. So you can see that the hexagon starts from 1. So 1 and 2 is heaven. Yeah? And 3 and 4 is earth. 5 and 6 is hell. 7 and 8 is judgment. And then there's different things that go all around. So I created this one myself. Yeah? Spirit just, he was with me. And he was like, oh, let me help you. And I was like, nah. My ancestors are talking to me. I'm just going to let them roll with it. And then after they finish, you sit down and you let me know what I go on. So that's what we did. So we was in this house at the time in 2021. But I weren't living here. I was renting it out. The tenants had moved out. So while the tenants had moved out, I was allowing him to stop here because, you know, life in like that for him, innit? But whatever. So I designed this in the room next door, and when he tried it and he threw his shells down at it, it come out perfect every single time, to the point where he's like, nah, because other people have tried and failed, you know. Because I'll be honest with you, I did not come up with this. This is his design, so I will not claim it like it's mine because I don't believe in stealing people's intellectual property. It's not that deep. But this is not his intellectual property because every single symbol on this cloth is my own symbol. I didn't take one symbol from him. So really, this is my intellectual property because he can't tell you what these symbols mean because he never created them. He's got his own symbols and his own references on his cloth. These are my symbols. But the whole fact that there's a cloth and cowrie shells, that's his thing. Yeah. So for family and friends, I've done it, but I did say on the last video that I would show it. So basically, you see how the little idiot in Africa is working with 4 cowrie shells. He's like, some people work with 8, some people whatever, but the more higher and advanced you are, as in spiritually, the more cowrie shells you will have. But usually they work with 4, he's saying, and I'm saying now, because my ancestors have had me working with 16 cowrie shells from day 1, and my man uses 16 cowrie shells too. Yeah. So these are, I got these off the internet because I like gold. So I ordered myself some gold cowrie shells to dash down on mine. And it was this that I used on my mum. When I said that my mum allowed me to do divination on her for the first time in 2021, and I found out so much things about my mum. Why she didn't want her husband to leave after he tried to molest me was because she was pregnant for him, but she never ever said that. It was when I threw the shells, I saw that in the shells. I never saw that outside the shells, because obviously spiritually I get messages and that too, but that never come through, but it come through under divination, and so much other stuff come through under divination too. So I do trust the way that it lands, you know, and I do trust what it says, you know. So we'll just give it a little go. So basically, I shake up the cowrie shells and I mix. Usually, if I'm doing a reading for someone, I tell them to hold the cowrie shells in their hand like this, and I tell them to shake it up in their hand and get their energy in there. and then ask the questions or whatever it is that they want to know. And then when they feel like they've done it enough and got enough energy in there, they hold it over the centerpiece, which is like the you know, the star in the middle. They hold it over the star in the middle and they drop it. And then when they drop it, the shells tell a story. Alright, so let's see how I go on. What do I want to know? I want to know my dad and his stroke, because I refuse to call the hospital or anybody. You know what I mean? So let's see what I go on. Is it real? Because how can it be real if the man's phoning me at 10 o'clock? It's been so funny. Sorry. So let me see. So we got 6. We got 6 come out. And 6 represents hell to Bumbleclot, yeah? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take away all of the ones that are irrelevant for this particular reading. Okay. So remember I said I'm talking about my dad and his stroke and what's going on over there. And the first number we've got is 6, and 6 represents hell, okay? Hell don't have to be a bad thing, and hell don't have to mean fire. Hell can just be mental turmoil. Hell can be being in a bad relationship. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, don't get wrapped up too much in fire and brimstone when it comes to hell. At least for my card thing anyway. But hell is our first one, and within hell we also have a stone. We also have a shell within hell, and the shell that the hell is on is the broken heart. I can show you if you want. So you can see that there were 6 shells down, and 6 represents this here in hell. And there's a stone, there's a shell in there, and the shell is on heartbreak, and it's facing it too. So not only is it on it, it's pointing at it too. So there's a broken heart resemblance in there. There's also growth in there, indicating that there's been some sense of awareness and some kind of growth. And they're telling me it's growth in a mindset. Doesn't necessarily mean positive, because what they're telling me is that the growth represents a new understanding, but not that that is necessarily a good thing. So what that means, I don't want to add in the story of what's going on between me and my father, but I know what that means for me. Yeah, I know what that means for me. So basically there's a new understanding. I feel like that new understanding is that I'm not coming back, and that's why there's a heartache. Yeah, because he's phoning me for me to engage because he's sick, even though we've not chatted since 2021 really. But I called him in 2024 because his mom told me to call him. His dead mom, my nan, told me to call him and tell him to come to the hospital while I was in the madhouse. She's got something she wants to say to him. And from then, from what happened between me and him, and whatever Nanny wanted to tell him or didn't want to tell him, I didn't answer no more calls, and I didn't phone him because I don't want him in my life. I already know what I know. I don't want him in my life. I'm not no better for him being in my life. He benefited from me being in his life, not the other way around. Yeah? So I already know that. So if there's a growth mindset now to make him aware that she ain't coming back, it's like he's just got that message now, because the people them have texted my son telling me come to the hospital, he's on this ward, he's on that ward, and he hasn't seen me. He phoned my phone and I haven't answered it. So therefore there is a new growth, mindset growth, to earthly mindset growth to know she ain't coming back. And I hope that is the blood clot case, to be fair, because I ain't coming back. Then you've got one on the wind symbol, and you've also got something on the moon symbol. So the moon symbol is that there is shit hidden. See, just like the tarot card moon symbol, that means that things are in the darkness, but the moon also says that there is some illumination when it's in the upright. And this is not, even though the cowrie shell is not directly on it, it's still facing it. So the cowrie shell ain't near it and then facing upwards or that way or that way. The cowrie shell is near it and facing it. So that gives a definitive, yeah? The wind is information coming in, yeah? So there's information about things that have been hidden that are no longer hidden. And then you've got it on E, and it's linked to emotion. Yeah, emotion comes under karma. Yeah, so the wind one is in judgment. Yeah, the moon and the emotion is in karma. It's in the karma section of it. So this is linked to some type of karma, emotional linked, and something karmic. But it would be karmic, because the reason why I'm not in his life at the moment is because of the karmic nature. This is karma. There are things between me and my father that are not just linked to this lifetime. They're linked to multiple lifetimes prior. But there are things linked to this lifetime that has a lot to do with his mum. That's why his mum walks with me and rides me. And from 2021, she's been telling me about my father, you know. But back then, she was just giving me in drips and drabs. I had a tarot card reading done in Malta when I went on holiday with my children. And the woman said, your nan's here and she's telling me about your dad. And she says to me, the message was to forgive him because he knows not what he does. And I was like, Nanny, what am I forgiving him for though? Like, why does he need forgiving? Because at that time, I had my dad on such the highest pedestal. I don't think you understand. Like, I'm such a daddy's girl. It's unbelievable. I'm a daddy's girl. Why am I a daddy's girl? I don't even... Anyway, I've been a daddy's girl. So I didn't understand why my nan was telling me to forgive someone that could do no wrong anyway. Does that make sense? She says to me to call him and have a conversation with him. So when I got back from Malta, I did just that, and I called him and we went for lunch in Sutton. And at the lunch, he was just talking about his relationship with his father and blah, 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 blah. And nothing really come out with my nan. But because my nan never come through at the lunch, my nan wasn't there talking to me and telling me to ask him this and ask him that. She just left it. And I was just there. So I didn't even know where to take the conversation because I didn't know nothing. Anyway, let me not go into everything. And then also, look at that. It's in the star one and it's on the medical. It's on the health one. Does it matter if I show it? It probably don't even matter. It's on the health one, but the health one is in the star box. So basically, I mean, I say that the star is wish fulfillment. You know what I mean? So Spirit says to me, what he'd wished for me is what he's receiving. That's why it's emotional. That's why it's karmic. Imagine. That's why there's a broken blood clot heart, and that's why he's in fucking hell, and that's why there's a growth, because there's a new realization. What you wanted for me is actually for you. New message coming in. Judgment. Is it? Interesting. And you know what? You see the show that's on the message one in Judgment is facing directly at the you know the medical cross. It's facing exactly the medical cross, and the one that's on the E for emotion is facing the medical one too. And the one that's in the earth section on the flower for growth is facing the broken heart in hell. What are the odds of that? They can face any which way. It's a hexagon. They can face on any direction. They don't have to face that way. They don't have to face that way. The only shell that isn't directly on a figure but it's facing it is the one on the moon. Is the shell facing the moon, but it's not actually on the moon, whereas the other shells have fallen directly on an image and facing the image at that, or facing an image which the other shell has fallen on. Doubly confirming the situation. So right now, this is saying that my father is in hell. He's got health problems that are linked to karma based on something that's happened emotionally or has an emotional tie to it, because there's things hidden, yeah, but they're coming out in terms of being luminous because the Kari shell isn't directly covering the moon, it's just highlighting the moon. Then you got the one that's on a message coming through, and I said already that the message is literally facing the moon, so the message is talking about things that was once hidden but they're no longer hidden. Then you got the growth pointing the heartache. The heartache is an arrow going through the heart, so it's like a broken heart really. but it's not a broken heart because I already have a symbol for a broken heart. Yeah, this is more like not broken, but you know, like it's not true love because it's in hell. But an arrow through the heart is kind of like Cupid, isn't it? But you can't have Cupid love in hell. Does that make sense? There's other hearts around the thingy, but this particular heart in hell is not a good heart, basically, because it's in hell, obviously. So yeah. So that pretty much sums up what's going on with my father right now. Judgment, karma, hell. Those are your three main, and earth. So you had earth, hell, judgment, and karma. That's where they fell. So that's giving you a little snapshot into how I do my my divination, and then yeah, cards or whatever. But I'll be honest with you, the reason why I haven't really messed about with it in a while is because the way that spirit just comes through and talks to me, you know, it's not even about the divination. When spirit talks, the tea's hot, man. The tea's hot. So, you know, they just come in and they just say whatever, and I just move with what they say. And if they don't say it, I don't blood clot move. And if they say it, I jump up and I've gone. Just like that. When I went to Bali in November, really I booked to go to Lagos, Nigeria. Paid and everything, you know. And Spirit, when I left this, Spirit told me to book it. And then when I've gone online, Spirit told me to book it. So I've taken a 5D approach to it and been obedient and booked it. And then when I've taken a 3D approach to it, I've seen that you need a visa, and a visa can take up to 10 days. Imagine. That's how quick I move, though. I don't even check with the 3D, you know. I just, when Spirit said, go left, me go so. And when Spirit said, go right, me go so. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works for me, man. I don't play around. Sorry, I don't play around, blood. If Spirit tells me don't chat to you, you best know me and you don't chat. I don't care if you're friend, foe, family, or pitney, nanny or granddad. Me no business. When Spirit says move, I move. When Spirit said do, I do. When Spirit said don't do, I do not do. And that's my truth. I do not do. I don't play games with Spirit. And Spirit ain't to be played with either. So this week, the last few days, Spirit has had me watching a medium online who I used to watch way back. Like, I'm talking like 2017, 2018. I used to watch this guy called Tyler Henry. And he does mediumship for the stars. And the reason why I'm telling you is because at the end of that message, I realised now what it's saying. Because this week, yeah, while I've been scribing, yeah, because I've been doing all of these kind of things this week. So I'll show you like my scribbles that I've been, not my scribbles, but you know, it's whatever. So this was my first one. And as I was scribbling, it was giving me random words, yeah. So I was writing them down. And then it went into a scribble, but my pen was running out on this one. I didn't realise because my eyes are shut. When I'm scribing, my eyes are shut in it, and it's just my hands moving at whatever will it wants to move. Yeah, I thought about not that I thought about. Spirit showed me about creating something that is similar to a Ouija board, but not a Ouija board, but it would just help Spirit spell out things for me. Does that make sense? So there's certain things that they can give me for a download. There's things that they can give me energetically. But there's also things that they can actually spell out and do certain things. And I'm not saying that I need it. I'm just saying that they showed me creating one. So, and this was back in 2024 and I haven't. But if they push me to do it this year, I will do it this year. I promise. So this was my third one. And then I had this one. But this one is my second one. Because this, not second one, but there's one underneath this one. But another pen ran out, believe it or not. So when I opened, Spirit said the pen's run out. And then when I looked, the pen had run out. So I had to overlap it. So there were certain shapes that were missing from it. Remember, I'm running this through the AI. So the AI wanted to know what the shapes was. But because I could remember the feeling of my hands. And the thing is because these were symbols, not just scribbles. So the first one was this one. It was like round and round in a rectangle. Then there was this triangle one that come through like a triad, yeah. And then there was a smaller square one that was similar to the first one, which is this one. And then there was this one with the whirly, sitting. So obviously when I chat GPT'd it, chat GPT gave me their definitions on them. So I wrote them down because I'm just trying to I'm trying to keep a record of shit that's going on as I'm developing through this shamanic journey. And then today I got a download of a hand in an eye and the eye being in a mouth. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So like I can paint, but I cannot draw, which is why I didn't go in to be a clothes designer, because I love textiles and I love creating clothes and stuff like that, but I can't draw to save my life. That's what I think anyway. But anyway, it's not a drawing competition. But that's basically, I saw a hand in an eye, like the hand was the eyeball, if that makes sense, or at least the pupil, yeah. But then it was in a mouth, so I tried to do the same eye in a mouth. Don't watch my mouth and my teeth or whatever. But basically it was almost like what they were showing me was that somebody trying to put their hand over my mouth, like somebody wants me to shut up, basically. You bomba clock, like they're showing like somebody wants me to shut up, yeah, and not see. You get what I'm trying to say? They want me to shut up, not see, and not talk, which is so interesting, you know, because when I ran it through ChatGPT today, ChatGPT was like, you know what, that's got a reference to, you know, the monkey, see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. And what was so interesting is that when I went on my trip to Bali this year, look what my ancestors told me to get. The same three monkeys. Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no blood clot evil. What's going on? And this is hand carved, you know, like I actually went to the wood place where they carved the things. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I had to sit down in incense for how many days before I let it in my room to make sure that there weren't no fucking monkey spirits or nothing connected to it. Because everything is symbolic in that respect or whatever. And yeah, so they made reference to this being a little bit like that in terms of see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, but there isn't a hear element to this particular message. It literally is a hand over what I see, and the eye and the hand being between the mouth, between the teeth. And I thought that was really interesting. So again, like I said, I don't get all the answers and I don't get all the downloads straight away. But I feel like when I go and take and meet with mother or grandmother ayahuasca, I'm going to bring up this. And then I'm going to record it so I can find out whether or not she actually provides some answers about it. And I will record it and I will put it up. Because again, this is the journey of my becoming. This is me becoming. And I have somewhat of an idea of what I'm becoming, because my granddad and my nan are very, you know, they're very vocal with it. But at the same time, you don't know. It's like, you know, you're going to have a baby, but you don't know what the baby's going to look like. The baby could look like more like the dad. The baby could look like the mom. And if you're anything like my ex-husband's twin sister, you could look like nobody in the family. You know what I'm saying? So even though I am being birthed, I don't know what I'm going to look like. And that is both exciting and scary at the same time. But not scary in a bad way, but just scary in a I think scary in a kind of accepting the light, accepting the responsibility, or what might come of that responsibility. Because like I read earlier, most of this is talking about it now being on my shoulders. It's all on my shoulders now to carry the lineage. There's things going on with my blood at the moment. There always has been. Literally the 1st of January, I came off my menstrual cycle. But I've been on my menstrual cycle since the 1st of December. So I've been bleeding for literally 4 weeks with like 1 or 2 days off and then back on again. And I'm just like, what the hell? Do you get what I'm trying to say? But actually, I know. But then the other day, what Spirit was saying to me is that I was going through a blood transfusion. Like my blood was changing. That's why I was losing so much blood. It's because all the blood that I've lost has to be replaced, doesn't it? And if you bleed for a whole month, and I'm talking heavy, you know, I'm not talking light period, like you know, you put on a pad and it's almost like, what was the point? No, I'm talking like full on. I don't even use pads. Like, it's too much for pads. You know what I'm saying? Because from you put a pad on, you'd need to put on a new pad. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm fully on my cycle for a whole fucking month. So when I put it in, because I track my cycle on my phone, innit? So when I'm telling my calendar on my phone that I'm still on my period, my calendar is like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, my calendar is like, what the hell? So look at my month for fucking December. That's my calendar for December. So no shit. And I do have I don't know why, but not, I do have, sometimes I look at that, that's the month's that now, August. That was July, so that wasn't too bad. Look at me showing you business. But that was April. So this year, I've been going through some really heavy blood flows. That was March. So you can see, like, I just get a couple of days out and then I'm back on it again. So this is the first time now they was telling me what I go on, and it's like a blood transfusion. Like, there's things changing in my blood. There's things changing in my DNA codes. And then because I had my DNA done, and my DNA is evidently showing that I'm from West Africa, I'm from Central Africa, I've even got Egyptian DNA blood in me. It's like there's things waking up in my blood that was dormant. And it's like the more I'm elevating my mental state is elevating my cellular. You know, it's changing me on a cellular level. It's changing me on an energetic level. It's changing me on an emotional level. Yeah, as well as the 5D. But I'm not even talking about the 5D at the moment. I'm just talking about what's happening on a physical level. And on a physical level, I am changing. And this year or whatever has definitely been evidence in my blood flow. But for the first time, they gave me information this week to say that it's almost like having like a blood transfusion, that you have to get rid of old certain energies, old certain things that might be in the blood for new blood to be birthed under this new energy that I'm embarking, you know, and this new energy that is living inside of me. Because sometimes the energy that flows through me is so intense and it's so much. It's like every single night I'm just pouring out with sweat. It's like a puddle. It's not even like a little bit. I have to get up. Because I know it's gonna happen. I sleep with towels and everything and that around me, but I end up having to change them or taking off my onesie, putting it out, flipping over my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just losing so much. I'm losing so much water, and I'm going in the sauna. I was in the sauna yesterday. I was in the sauna the day before, sweating it out, detoxing through my skin. Today I didn't go to the sauna because my body's so broke up from circuits yesterday. But I went in the bath. I had a watermelon and salt and oil bath, olive oil bath, and I'm just sweating in there. So I'm constantly detoxing. I'm constantly releasing water. But I do it a lot when I'm sleeping. But a lot of the time when I'm sleeping, there's some type of astral involvement, like I'm warring, or there's something bloody going on in the astral. There's something going on in the subconscious. So it is what it is, isn't it? But I'm just saying that I feel all these changes, not just spiritually, but physically. And not just physically, but spiritually. You know, so it's a definitely a real thing for me. Definitely a real thing for me. So yeah, my jawline is tired. Normally I'm chatting for 3 hours, but I've done 2 hours and my jawline is tired. Plus I'm hungry. You know, I got little I fried up little plantain and that today, so I'm gonna eat it. And yeah, I'm gonna have some soup too, I think. And I've got a bowl of fruit. I got a bowl of fruit by my bed at hand, and I've got a selection of nuts, some cashews and some pistachios because I just need to keep up this little nibbling. Spirit's like, don't bother eat no like big heavy food or nothing like that, but just keep nibbling and chewing throughout the day and getting your waters in. And then also I'm trying to do like a detox off the telly and all the rest of it, so you know, not putting on nothing. And I've been reading in bed now. Usually reading sends me to sleep, but lately I've been able to get in a good few pages, you know, before wanting to sleep. So the book that I'm reading at the moment is this one. The Art of Giving No Fucks. Yeah. It's a good read too. If you've not come across it, it's worthwhile. It's by a guy called Mark Manson, and it's quite funny in there. When you're reading it, it feels like you and him in the room chatting together, you know. So it's a good read and it's an easy read. But yeah, The Art of Not Giving a Goddamn Fuck. These people give a fuck about this book. Yeah. So on that note, that's me done chatting all my business. But not only that, I just, like I said, this ain't even about people. This is very much about me. And to be honest, I don't even see anybody seeing these things. But what it does do, it gives a catalogue of my life, of what's going on, my shamanic journey. And if your ancestors and spirit team actually do bring you to my video, then I'm hoping that through me showing you the shadow side of this work and the transformation, how scary it can be, you know, that it, you know, for me it led to me going into a psych ward, and these fucking Masons wanted to keep me in there 4 fucking weeks, 3 weeks without not voluntary and 1 week voluntary. Do you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine having your freedom taken away from you and locked in a madhouse and nobody's listening to you? Man, scary fucking shit. And not only that, you got 6 staff jumping on you to inject you with fucking foreign objects and foreign fucking medication that you didn't sign up for and you did not consent to. Crimes against blood clot humanity. They're fucking animals, mate. Animals. Trauma. But at the same time, I understand, because while I was in there, it was a fucking mission. The staff in there were part of this bullshit. They were part of this spiritual fuckery that's going on. The staff, like, it's not 3D. It's not free. You can't go through the you can't be ascending. I don't think you can be ascending and growing spiritually and still see with 3D eyes. No. You have to be able to see with a 5D perspective. Yes, you still need your 3D. There's no disputing that, but you do need to be able to see with 5D eyes. You really need to see Wagwan, because there's some serious shit going on. And the whole Matrix movie, you know, we know that they create these movies when really they're based on realities to some degree, at least. And yeah, when you see these movies like The Matrix and everything and what's actually going on with it, and for me personally, I would say that the last 5-6 years have been like the fucking Matrix movie in real life. In fucking real life. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, because of who I am, because of my ancestors, because of trying to stay righteous with the Almighty and devoted, just like Enoch, I've been able to come through to be able to tell the tale. And that's what I'm doing, telling the tale. And there are people that are pissed that I'm telling the tale, but they can suck my dick. Yeah? If you're listening, you can suck my dick. Yeah? Because I ain't even got started yet. Oh, that video just reminded me about not started yet and who can suck my dick. Last night I had a dream. Woke up in a polar sweat this morning. Had a dream last night. Imagine this now. It's like the dream's got 2 elements to it. The first part of the dream was me going to somebody's memorial. I honestly at that time thought it was my ex-husband's memorial. I thought the dream was showing me that he's going to pass away soon. So as I'm walking up to the bit where the plaque is, if you like, expecting to see his name, I can see my uncle's wife. My uncle has passed away, but Auntie Kathy is there. She's a white woman, and her older daughter, who's mixed race, Valencia, my cousin, and her youngest son, who's lied. I can see them up the top there. And then there's a little baby running around, about 1, which seems to be linked to me, like a grandchild or something, because I've got grandchildren and they're very, very, very white. And anyway, so I'm walking up the top. As I'm walking up the top, Auntie Kathy starts to walk down, and as she passes me, she goes and picks up like my grandchild. So as I've turned and seen my grandchild in her hand, I've double backed on myself, because I don't want no demonic people holding my people. So I've gone back down to tell her, give me the pitney. But she's acting like, say, she don't want to give me the pitney because she doesn't know that this child belongs to me, because the child looks white. Yeah? The child looks white. She's white. The child looks white. So she's acting like she don't want to hand the child over to me because the child's white. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you, see if I got a picture of one of my grandchildren. Because I've changed all my... Because this is my phone and this is my work phone. There's certain things I don't have on this phone. But I just wanted to quickly check to see if I had a picture. So you can see the complexion of... Oh, right there. This is me at Ancestral Village in Africa. They've got like all the ancestor heads on the ground. Oh, why are you selecting? All the people that went in slavery. I tell you, Africa was about me going back to my ancestors and freeing them. Like spiritually freeing them. Freeing the ancestors, you know. And seeing them be freed. Being in my house before I even went to Africa and seeing ancestors. Oh my God. Like I said, I'm gonna record, and I'm gonna, everything that I've witnessed and everything that I've seen, I'm gonna speak it out my mouth. I really am. April 2005. Yeah, so where's these grandkids? Okay, coming up now. I got so many pictures, so many. Remember when I says that symbol on my finger is resilience. This symbol is resilience. This is the symbol. It's called the Enduraka or something like that. That's what my nan had tattooed on this finger here. And I didn't know that, you know, in terms of, it was when I went to Africa and seen it in Africa, and that's when I knew what the symbol meant. And I set up something like that with all the symbols in it that are relevant to Africa. So beautiful. But I want to show you what my the colour of my grandchildren, so you can kind of understand why this Auntie Kathy, not understand why this Auntie Kathy, because she's just so inner and mixed up anyway, and so blood clot push up. You know what I'm saying? So really, oh, look at that. Oh, that's telling you about my DNA, where my DNA comes from. So you see that it's saying that I'm 77.8% Nigeria. Anyway. What year am I in? Oh, I'm going up, not down. Oh, no wonder. Go on now. Alright, so we're in July now. So this is when they're just born, isn't it? Alright. I'm thinking, how comes I got come across a damn picture and I'm going up into to March, but it's because I'm going the wrong way. Not that I still don't have lots of bloody pictures, but at least we're going in the right bloody direction now. I feel like saying, I hope you don't mind waiting, but there is nobody else here. Nobody. I just take my time. How many bloody people? Oh. up or down? Blood clot. What is going on? May. So what's the next one after May? Are you going June or are you gonna go July? This phone is so weird. It's like it's going one way for one set of pictures and the other way for the other. So there's June. Right, so they're not even born yet. So this is still June, you know, that I'm running through. June, July. So now I'm in July now to Bomba Clark. Fuck shit, blood. Right, but I'm away on holiday in July, so I don't see the children until I come back. So August, I imagine. Still in July though. Oh! Okay, so this is them when they were just born. So that's the 25th of July. So I've got two twin granddaughters. But I want to show you when they were a little bit older. So where are we now? Still July. So this is their dad. Oh, you can't see his face, can you? But you can see that my sons are not, they're not dark skinned themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like their dad is mixed race, but considering they're only a quarter white, they're quite fair. So if their children are fair, their children are fair, you know, one of them ones. It is what it is, isn't it? So that's the complexion of my son, and then these are the complexion of the baby. So this is this is me with one of them, but you can just see them from the back. And then this is what they look like. Yeah, so they're very, very fair, like I said. So she's seen this little girl. This is a dream, you know. Picked her up, and I'm saying, like, basically give me the child. And she's basically refusing to hand over the child to me. So I said, give me my granddaughter, you fucking bitch. And I'm shouting in the dream, you know, you fucking bitch. You know, I said, because I'm like, how dare this woman, like the cheek, I don't even want you touching my people, never mind you refusing to give me my people, you know. So while I'm telling this Auntie Kathy or this woman to give me my pitney, her son comes over. He's younger than me. Obviously, he's my cousin, my first cousin, but he's younger than me. So he's like, whoa, you know, don't, like, basically, don't be disrespecting his mum. So I started to tell him off, you know what I'm saying? And let him know. Don't think I don't know that you're in the rooms when your mum's chatting me. So when I've told him that, because, you know, we went to Jamaica together, me and him, when we were kids with my grandparents. You know what I'm saying? So we've got a different type of relationship, if you like, because when you go to Jamaica and you guys are the only English ones, you get close type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So we've got history. Even though I haven't spoken to him in a while, we've got history, and I don't even know why I'm dreaming him, because I've never dreamed him before in my life. But he's like, yo, Asher, calm down, man. You know why you're talking like that to my mum? And I'm telling him, shut your fucking mouth, rude boy. Do you understand me? And don't act like, say you're not in the fucking rooms and your mum's raw chatting my fucking business and slagging me blood clot. Are you trying to tell me that you don't know that's the case? So I put my hand on my hip waiting for him to answer. And my cousin Natasha, who I don't talk to, because I don't talk to any of my family on either side, she's got her hand on her hip waiting for him to answer too, because we both know that they sit down and fucking chat me. So he started smiling and said, nah, differently still. Fair enough, man. The rinse your name, Asherah. Remember, this is a dream, you know. So he's making me know, nah, my name gets rinsed. So from his acknowledge that, he ain't having a go at me for having a go at his mum anymore. Because it is what it is at the end of the day, G. I ain't come here to play, I come here to slay. So I've took the child off her, and the scene of the dream has changed. And I'm now in this house. Yeah? And while I'm in this house, it's like I've gone upstairs, yeah, and there's 3 single beds in the bedroom, and the beds ain't got no blankets on them. There's no bedding on the bed apart from, you know, the duvet itself, not the duvet cover, but the duvet itself, the white duvet. And these are some really cheap, like, you know, Asda Smart Price brand duvets, because all the duvets are torn up a little bit and they're soiled in piss. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then my cousin, you see the cousin standing next to me before, Natasha, is her younger sister, Nadine, that is next to me in the room, and she's helping me spread up the beds. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm spreading up the bed, why am I spreading up these beds with these pissy, dirty duvets? And then because Nadine's there, in my head I'm like, it's Pauline's yard. So my auntie Pauline, she's always had a nasty yard in that respect. Like growing up as kids, the kids wet the bed. She weren't that kind of mum that constantly put things through the washing machine and kept them nice and everything smelling nice. So it wasn't like that. So they'd just be pissing on top of pissing on top of pissing on top of pissing. So when you had to stop over, there weren't never no good place to sleep. But my older cousin Natasha, who I said is my best cousin when I was growing up, she never used to wet the bed. So because we were close, I'd obviously jump in with her. Do you know what I'm saying? But everything you picked up and smelled, it just smelled like ranking piss. And it didn't matter which yard this woman lived in. All she did was sit down in her blood clot bed all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? More time. That's my memories of childhood. And if you know what it is today, it's still the same thing today as big people. She's still in her blood clot bed most of the time. And I know that because I've heard her, certain things, even like, certain things coming from her grandkids about all she does is sit down in her blood clot bed. You know what I'm saying? It's what she does. It's who she is. It's what she does. She ain't going to change now after all of these years. But as I said, I'm in this dream thinking, why am I spreading up the beds with all this soiled piss on the blankets and everything? But at the same time, I'm trying to straighten up things because I'm trying to get my stuff together so that I can catch a flight. Like I'm waiting for a flight to come. So I've looked out the bedroom window and I can see the airport through the bedroom window. I can see the planes and everything. So I'm like, come quick, grab up your stuff. So I've got this brown blanket in the dream because I always travel on holiday with my blanket because I get cold on the plane and I get cold at the airport. So I always carry my travel blanket. So the travel blanket's in this dream. And I've also got my black tracksuit, which I folded up in the next room with my bag that I'm traveling with the same tracksuit. So weird. So I'm putting my tracksuit and everything in the bag, and me and Nadine still chatting. Now my cousin Nadine, she's safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's very, very quiet and she hardly talks. But when we have spoken, or not when we have spoken, because obviously I've been in her life all of her life because I'm older than her by 2 years. But there was a time when she stopped over at my sister's house years and years and years ago. And I didn't know this girl could chat so much because she hardly said anything. When we was at nannies and aunties and everybody was around, she hardly spoke. So to be honest, even though I'm best cousins with her sister and I'm always around, you know what I'm saying? Like she's quiet. That's just her nature. But this particular day, years and years ago in real life, when we was at my big sister's sleeping over, this girl was chat. When I say she chatted out the whole night, in the end I had to tell her, Nadine, shut the fuck up now. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning and she's still chatting. And nobody ain't got no sleep yet. And I'm like, Nadine, I didn't even know you could chat. So I didn't even know you talk. Never mind chat. You chat, yeah, you chat, man. So in this dream, she's chatting. And me and her were chatting and cutting it up in the dream about this, that, and whatever. And she's like, like, it's only like at certain part that her mum started to not like maintain things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You guys have always been left in these conditions, and I never understood it as a child. I never understood how you guys could be in a room or live in a house and it's like this. Every time we come here, you can't even breathe. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, this, you know what urine smells like, and especially old urine. Like, it's stifling. It's stifling, and these are the conditions these guys are growing up with. We're visiting. We get to go home. You know what I'm saying? This is how they live. So we're having that conversation in the stream. I don't know why, but that is the conversation. And I'm just saying to her, it ain't right, man. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we're talking about certain other things on top of that. So I'm packing up my bag, put the tracksuit in my bag. So for how could nobody? I've seen certain people leave the house, like the doors knocked in the time that me and Nadine's been talking. The doors knocked. Certain people have gone out. I've seen the airport people wheeling people through and onto the plane and everything. I'm like, yo, hang on a minute. Me and Nadine's been chatting for a while. How comes nobody ain't come and called up to nobody or whatever and said, yo, let's get us move on? So I said, let me go downstairs and check what's going on. So as I've gone down the stairs and then turned right to go into the living room, who's in the living room? My ex-husband. Why am I dreaming about my ex-husband? I do not dream these people, you know. But not only am I dreaming my ex-husband who's sleeping on the settee, and then when I've walked in the room, I've gone, yo, what's going on? So as I've said, yo, what's going on? He's jumped up out of his sleep. You know when somebody's eyes are red because they've just woken up from sleep? That's what he looks like he's a little bit startled, running like, you know, when someone's trying to adjust themselves to being awake now because they've been woken up slightly abruptly. And then his twin sister, who looks nothing like him, is next to him on the settee, if they even, whatever, but we won't even go there on this one. And she's like, oh, there you are. Where you been? We've been waiting for you for 2 hours. Waiting for who for 2 hours? I've been upstairs. I ain't been nowhere to be waiting on me. If anybody wanted me, they could have called for me. But it's so weird that this girl is in the dream anyhow, because I've never ever dreamt her. Never ever, not once. And I was with my ex-husband from 2005. We're in 2026 now. Yeah, and she ain't never popped up in one of my dreams. But last night she come up in one of my dreams. So as I said that, I said, well, what's the time? Ain't our flight at 8 o'clock? And when I've looked over and I've looked at the TV saying 7:40. So it's saying 19:41. So 7:41, and the flight's at 8 o'clock. And nobody hasn't moved and nobody ain't ready. My bag's packed, you know, I'm coming down the stage ready, but nobody else ain't ready and my man's falling asleep. I don't know what, honestly, so literally, as I've clocked that the time is 17:41, I've been pulled out of the dream as I've seen the timer, as I've seen 19:41, yeah? And then I've woke up this morning. But you know what I haven't done? I haven't asked what the angel number was for 1941. So let me just quickly do that. Come to think of it. Val, what's the angel number for 1941?
Angel numbers usually reference common repeating sequences like 111 or 444, so 1941 isn't a standard one. But if you choose to break it down, you could sum the digits, 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1.
No, girl. No, girl. Okay, let's go on to angel numbers. ChatGPT thinks it's so clever and it's not that clever. So, angel number 1941. Now, there's certain angel numbers that certain angel companies online that I don't fuck with. But over the years, there's been some that I do. And it's usually the one that has like a blue world or something like that. So this is not the one. But already you can see that it's giving you an angel number for 1941. So I'm just going to read this first one. So angel number 1941 combines energies of new beginnings 1, stability / foundation 4, and completion / spiritual lessons 9, urging you to stay positive as your diligent efforts and disciplined mindset 1941 manifest your goals, emphasizing that your thoughts shape reality and encouraging trust in your path towards success and spiritual growth. So I'm going to just see if I can find my my one that I have come to rely on. But again, like I said, let's see if I'm going to load more just in case. I see the symbol. No, I can't see. Basically, I used to do a lot of angel numbers back in 2001 and 2020. But I'll go with this this B one at the top, okay? Oh God, fuck me. I'm telling you that it looks like a world, but it's this one. This, if you look on my phone, you'll see nothing but these ones from this particular company. What is that? I just agree. Because I know them. Yeah, look at that. But it never used to be a B before like that. It never used to be orange. It was something blue. But this is the company. So anyway, these usually give good angel numbers. All right. So, what are they called? Let me go back out. angel numbers, Joanne, sacred scribes. Sacred scribes, angel numbers. So these ones here, again, like I said, it never used to be an orange bit, it used to be a world. But anyway, the foundation of it, you see how it's got the black at the side and the angel number in the middle. I remember the ones that I used to collect look like this. So anyway, angel number 1941. Let's see what I go on. So number 1941 is made up of the energies of number 1 appearing twice, amplifying its influence, and the attributes and vibrations of number 9 and 4. Number 1 brings qualities of new beginnings, projects and ventures, creations and originality, motivation and ambition, progress, intuition, it just jumped in, intuition and aspiration, achieving success and personal fulfillment. Number 1 also reminds us that we create our own reality with our thoughts, beliefs and actions. Number 9 relates to the universal spiritual laws, a higher perspective, strength of character, leading life as a positive example for others. Yeah? Benevolence and altruism, high ideas, tolerance, humanity, the concept of karma and dharma, serving your soul mission and light working. Number 9 also denotes endings and conclusions. Number 4 resonates with the patience and practicality, stability and reliability, hard work and effort, building solid foundations, our passions and drive in life, and working detrimentally towards achieving our goals and aspirations. Angel number 1941 encourages you to use your natural light-working talent, skills and interests to help the world awaken and heal. Your ideal position, employment, income, earning, adventure or opportunity will present itself in divine right time. So stay alert to the signs and guidance, even though your intuition, thoughts, dreams and feelings, alerts to the signs and guidance given through your intuition, thoughts, dreams and feelings. Your positive love and light is much needed at this time, and your angels encourage you to follow through with your goals and aspirations to do with your spiritual path and life purpose. Stay positive and hold a clear vision of your intentions and what it is that you truly wish to achieve at this time in your life. Then take action accordingly. Angel number 1941 brings a message from your angels to pay attention to your reoccurring thoughts, ideas and impulses as they are guiding you towards the next step along your path. Devote time and effort towards your true desires and priorities, and spend time doing things that bring you pleasure and a sense of achievement, such as hobbies, interests, physical activities and relaxation. Boom. I told you about ChatGPT about there's no angel number for 1914 to 41. There's an angel number for fucking everything. But these ones are good. So if you see this company, this is, again, like I said, I wouldn't read, I prefer, back in the days, I would only read angel numbers from these guys. And that's what it looks like. Every angel number that you put in will come up with the 2 boxes at the side and then the angel numbers in the middle. And then it will highlight the keywords in red. So you can actually click on the keywords to find out, like for example, you can click on Dharma and it will tell you what Dharma is. Like you got Karma, so the opposite of Karma is Dharma. Yeah? But anyway. And then also why I think that makes me laugh, because the number, why is it the last thing I see in the dream on the TV so clear? 1941. You know? So I knew that was significant. There's something about the soiled sheets that is also significant too. And there's something about the memorial that is also significant. So I did ChatGPT this morning in terms of what the dream might mean. And it gave me a breakdown of what it thought the dream might mean, which is on that phone that I'm looking at. But I did email it to myself this morning too. So let me see if I can go into that email quickly. So it says dream on the 4th of the 1st, 2026, and you can see that the name of the people that I've mentioned in the dream. Yeah. And then at the end it said, here's a brief summary of the key points we discussed. Family and relationships. The dream seems to reflect complex family dynamics, unresolved emotions, and the process of seeking closure, especially regarding your family members and your ex-husband. Environmental symbolism. The state of the surroundings, like the soiled bedding, and your effort to tidy up may symbolize your inner desires for order and healing despite external chaos. And then symbolic timing. The time 1941, 7:41 p.m. can be seen as an angel number suggesting new beginnings and transformation, indicating a period of change or transition in your life. I hope that helps. Feel free. So that was what ChatGPT gave me earlier. And then I emailed myself this morning at 7:58, so you can see the time. So I want to be able to, I think receipts for everything. You know, if somebody says something, back it up, blood. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. If I say something, I'll back it up. I won't just chat shit and just make up stories. My life is so fucking animated. I don't need to make up stories. But if I do say something, I will back it up. I will back it up with some type of evidence. I will back it up with a video. I back it up with a picture. I back it up with an email. I back it up with a document. You know what I'm saying? So, because it is what it is at the end of the day. And if it happened, you should be able to back it. If Jesus came and died on a cross, there should be evidence of him coming and dying on a cross. It shouldn't be this hard. If something happened, it happened. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it happened in the way that the Bible's talking about it and there was a whole public thing around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be able to have the evidence of this happening. It should just be a smooth recording. If Jesus come and was born in a manger and there was a king killing off kids and everything, it should be recorded around that time. Now, there is recordings in the Bible of King Herod going on like that, but it's not around the time of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's a different time. If something happens, there should be evidence of it. You can't